Alright, YouTube Digital. Just kind of played around with the video. I'm going to upload it. Playing around with Vader in the house. Oh, I better put a disclaimer in the front of it. That, we're wrestling around. But, anywho. Let's talk about this next thing. Oh, I'll get to your question, HBR. No, I agree with the which one was that? The One Act. I agree with that. It's just how coverages make money and stuff like that. There's two parts of it, especially for group insurance, how money's made. And when they have extra out of the pot, usually that's how normal insurance earns money. But I'll get all of that. Let's go to, but I'm going to talk about social first. Because, people are having to troll in other videos because they want to talk about how Canada is so much better. First of all, most of the people in the United States get their information on how Canada is better either from two ways. Either word of fucking mouth, which equals bullshit, and World Health Organization bullshit numbers. There's a lot of things that World Health Organization does not factor in. There are things that they factor in correctly. It's just Phil. I mean, let's go through a couple figures real quick. Right now, currently, within the last time that they reported, they're saying UK is about 2,000 pounds a year for everyone. Canada is like 4,800, 4,500 of their dollars a year. United States is about 3,600 or 3,800 for Medicaid or Medi-Cal, the government health care. And they didn't really put down what the private is because it's none of their fucking business. First off, I know for a fact because I deal with it that government health care costs more. Yeah. But let's go on to the myths of social health care. First off, it's not a bad deal when you got about 10 or 15 million, maybe 20 million people. But when you get 35, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, it's a whole different story. And, yeah. So it does not work as great. Matter of fact here, sorry. Why do I care about that? Okay. I don't care about Matthew 13. Well, why anyone would send that to me? But, okay. And by the way, I don't have an iPad. I'm an American. So, I have a Android. Much better. I should start some shit. Okay. First of all, the World Health Organization has looked at American bankruptcies and saw that 46% in 2007. Well, first off, 2007 was the beginning of the fail. People think 2008, but the reality is actually it started in 2006. It really started growing momentum in 2007. People were already talking about it then. In 2008, it was full throttle go. But a lot of people don't realize that there's an old trick. Okay, when you file bankruptcies and stuff like that, at some point in time, somebody may pull you aside and say, hey, look, if anyone asks you, it's medical. Okay, cool. There is no, this is the retarded thing, is when you file a bankruptcy, there is no like check mark. Oh, bankruptcy reason. I spent too much. No. I got fucked. No. Oh, medical. Here we go. There is none. Okay. Basically, people say medical because if you look up credit reporting and all this other shit, medical bills are treated differently than consumer credit bills. If you file bankruptcy, then a couple of years later you go and try to get a car or something like that, and someone will go, oh, I see you got a bankruptcy in 2007. Oh yeah, I got medical. Yeah. And so what they'll tell the lender is, oh yeah, it was a medical deal. It's bullshit. All right. Most of the people that filed, there's a big part where they also exploit the 30 million uninsured. Okay, well, that's nice. But how many of those people purposely do not have insurance because they don't want it? Now, I'm not saying that's a good idea because it fucks up the system to begin with. You should have some form of insurance. But they choose not. And people don't realize just an emergency room visit can cost 15 grand. 15 grand. Think about a day in ICU. 50, 60. So these people, there are a group, and I'll admit that they're out there, that are between state or federal insurance and being able to afford normal insurance. There is a group there. It is not 30%. Nowhere close to being 30%. Okay? And those people, most of them truly want insurance. And I truly believe there needs to be options for them. And this is where I said Obamacare could have just made it as simple as all hell. But they failed. Now in other countries, they're forced to, whether they want to or not. And it's not as cheap as people think. Because of what they're paying, okay, they're not getting anything back like we do. Case in point, UK backlog in treatment and MRIs got to the point where they had to put an 18-week mandate because it was running rampant. Okay? People were having to wait 18 weeks for a referral or for an MRI or for all this type of shit. Or over 18 weeks. To a point where they had to cap it. 18 weeks is 4.25 months. That's bullshit. Okay? They, like in America, they force private companies like mine, if somebody sends in a predetermination, we have 30 days to answer back. Or we get fined. Now they changed it where they can add, do an urgent or whatever. And there's, 14, I think it's 48 and 14 hours. 48 hours if it's an emergency, 14 if it's urgent. But the government healthcare, what timeline? Government laws don't apply to government healthcare. State mandates don't apply to government healthcare. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Now let's look at Canada. Canada's the same thing as UK, even worse. Canada's going to get even worse. Now, Canada's got 35 million people. Okay. There are waits in some areas for the MRI way past 18 weeks for an MRI. Now let's just say I tore out my knee, but they don't know how extensive. Do I just got some fluid built up? Do I got a little shit that can clean out real quick? I don't know. It fucking hurts. So in America, like when I went and got my MRI for my back, it took a week. Actually, it took less than a week. In Canada, it could take up to 23 weeks. There are some places that are even more. Why is that? Well, they can't afford an MRI machine. Why? It's $1 million bucks. Plus, the cost of making the MRI room is about $500,000 to $800,000. Remember what MRI stands for: magnetic resonant imaging. That's got to be Faraday shielded and everything else. Oh, people didn't know that, did they? Ooh. Your digital knows something about magnetics and shit. But anyway, a lot of shit has to be done. A lot of copper, a lot of this, a lot of that. They can't just throw it in a room. Okay? Even a used machine is 500 plus. So get this right. When you have 35 million people, okay, and machines are costing $1 million plus a room for, so let's just say about 1.5 million. Okay, and you got 35 million people. Now, okay, if they buy a machine, come on, people, let's just settle this. If everyone contributed $1 towards machines, they can only buy 35 a year. MRI machines alone are that much against 35 million people. How are they going to buy one? They can't. You know, if everyone in Canada gave $1 towards MRI fund, yeah, they can buy some MRIs, but they can't afford shit. And that's the problem. They can't afford anything. So maybe their healthcare is cheaper at a point, but guess what? How many people have misdiagnosed of cancer? Mammograms. Women are so pissed off because they can't get their mammograms. You know, some women, they got a history of breast cancer, so you got to start your mammograms. You know, some of them start at 30 because they don't want to risk it. You know, in cancer, almost every form of cancer is beatable now if you get the screenings. But how can you get screenings when all this shit's backlogged? The labs are backlogged too. It could take up to 2 months to where you get your lab results. That's ridiculous. So you're telling me they're almost paying the same as Americans, and they're getting what? Nothing? We won't even get into, they don't cover dental. You know, they cover, you know, like the very basic, like one, or I think it's like 2 cavities, a cleaning, and one something else. They don't cover braces. None of that. Cash. You know, UK is the same problem. The problem is you can't, that type of healthcare, if they're not generating money and generating ways to figure out how to do things, they're stagnant. They cannot handle the amount of people. I mean, here's a website for you, bupa.com, or actually it's .co.uk. bupa.co.uk. Why the fuck do these people even exist in UK? Why? Why do they need it? I mean, hell. Okay, let's see here. With no financial limits on your cancer treatment and access to the latest proven cancer drugs, dedicated support team, including counselors, blah, 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 blah. Health insurance. Let's see here. Find out more. Let's see. Why do we need health insurance? Health insurance helps you get fast access to specialists for diagnosis. Helps reduce the NHS, National Health System in the UK, waiting list for medical care. So basically, this is here saying, hey, dude, if you got some money and you want to live, buy us because the NHS ain't gonna fucking help you. Waiting list for medical care, benefits from pioneering treatment, proving drugs, widely not available. Again, wow, national health care. Woohoo! All time. Fucking UK's asked us to be all there because they fucking suck. But anywho. Oh god, it's such a fucking fail. And people buy into this shit because really, I mean, let's be honest. We're all cheap asses in the long run. Sure, I would want to believe that free healthcare is better. Wow. Yeah, here's our other mission statement. This is just fucking awesome. Our experience means you'll receive specialist services such as access to specialist support teams and the latest proven drugs not yet available to the NHS. Fucking great. Fucking awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Could not have fucking made it better for me. But anywho, when I started working for the insurance company, believe it or not, I had the same fucking things there. You know, oh, Canada's fucking, healthcare system's great. No. And then, during the first year of open enrollment for all these major companies that had, factories and stuff in Canada, and we had to, because usually you only get allowed plans that are in your geographical market. Well, they don't have a geographical market because they're not in the United States. So they were choosing the one closest to them. So I'd have to modify all the shit to make it work. So I talked to the people that are running these groups and stuff, and I'm like, what the fuck are all these people paying $200 to $800 a month to get an insurance here? And they go, yeah, because their insurance sucks. What insurance? Yeah, it helps you if you get sick and have to run to the emergency room, but getting anything else, you only certain areas have access to be able to get into the doctors quickly because they're overrun. They can't add more stuff because they don't have no money to do it because they want to remain cheap. The government doesn't want to put that money in when it's needed. The UK and Canada need to double. If they're going this route, they need to double everything. And it still will not cut down the times. It will cut it down from 18 weeks to probably about maybe 7, 6, somewhere in there. Some things probably down to like 4 or 3. Still not where we are at. MRI machines last pretty long until there's a next huge deal. So most of the time these people the hospitals here can lease them and shit like that, and all the money that goes for the MRI goes right to the machine. So they're not really making anything on the MRIs. They only make stuff on the reading of the MRIs. But that's okay, because their hospital having an MRI generates them business in other areas. But see, Canada can't do that. So that's why they fail. They have no money because they can't generate any money anywhere in their system at all. Their doctors won't even stay there. Their doctors, why do we got all these foreign doctors? Because they're, you know what? A lot of doctors make good money, but let's be real here. They devote their lives pretty much from high school forward until they get out of all that bullshit. We're talking 10 years, 12 years up to. They're devoting their lives to this. And, you know, all that time, they're not getting paid worth shit. They get out of school, they got $150K worth of bills and everything else. So, yeah, they make good money. Good for them. But, you know what? For the 10 years after they're out of all that shit, they don't make anything because it's all going to their, you know, their schooling and everything else. Paying all those loans off and everything. So, why are doctors in other countries coming here? Because they got it almost as bad there, and they don't really get anything. You know, they're not making where they should be. I'm sorry, if someone who devotes 10 years of their life to becoming a doctor, they should be paid as they devoted 10 years of their life to become this. It's not like people just getting out of high school and go get a job making $20 an hour being a garbage guy. These people devoted a time. They should be paid for the devotion they did. But other countries, they don't get it. So they come here. Well, there's tons of people from Canada coming here. Matter of fact, here, I'll leave with this. People blame Mexicans for fucking up our healthcare here. I could tell you that there are Canadians that have come to America to seek treatment for anything from cancer to, you know, a heart surgery because they don't want to die in Canada, thinking that the Canadian government, who should cover them during their travels, is turning down most of these things, which means that they're going back to Canada and the bill is not paid. So when people try to tell me, yo, digital, yeah, but these people up north don't do this, man. Yes, they do, so shut the fuck up. That goes to their free health care. Why are they coming here? Why are, you know, people with aneurysms and brain hemorrhages and pregnancies and, you know, people that have triplets and stuff come here because they're more likely to live? Oh no, but the World Health Organization says their lifespan is up there. Yeah, because they don't have McDonald's. But now in UK and all that, their obesity rate, when they've been making fun of us, their obesity rate has been going up. Greece, 69% of the people in Greece are obese. Oh, the Mediterranean diet is so great. Yeah, they ate too much of it. Shit. You know, they're look at the UK. Well, a lot of people don't. If you go to Bay and you start watching a lot of that TV, and you'll see that it doesn't look any different than America. So, yeah. Oh. Their healthcare system, the problem is there's no way to generate money besides taxation. People will not pay because the service that they get sucks so fucking bad they're buying American insurance or scamming, you know, coming to America saying that they're on vacation and having open heart surgery and going back home, you know, dropping a bill on us. But they can't expand it because it's not working. It's failing. But they don't want you to believe that. But if you go to UK and stuff like that, UK is already letting private companies come in because it's so fucked up there. They have no choice. I've been thinking about transferring to one of our offices in London. We have a fucking office in London, baby. I'm high enough that I could probably get a position there and transfer. So, you know, this whole it's full of fucking fail. I mean, just the fact that who the fuck would buy health insurance from America when they live in Canada for $200 to $800 a month? Who the fuck would do that? Why? You know, it's retarded. Oh, but the bankruptcy rates are higher here. Other countries, their laws are different. If it's medical debt, they can't really do anything to you, so it doesn't matter. Oh, people don't know that. Things are fucked up overseas so bad that I've had to pay emergency claims, wire the money right now to get people out of hospitals because they're being held by gunpoint. So, yeah, let's just talk about that. Maybe I will one of these days. But anywho, sorry to make this long, but there is so much in this bullshit bill